Welcome to our group study, Made for This, as we journey together through the book of Daniel. Everyone in this world is longing for a home. Home is where your heart is a popular catchphrase that we use to describe that no matter where we are in this world, no matter where we are in this life, that truly when we feel at home is when we feel at peace or wholeness in our hearts. We all can remember the Wizard of Oz and Dorothy clicking her red slipper heels together, just saying there's no place like home. And Daniel finds himself in a very similar situation. As we look at the book of Daniel, we're going to realize that the people of God are living in exile. In 586 BC, the Babylonian Empire conquered the kingdom of Israel. They were now living in exile in a foreign land, not at their home. And they were separated from their home, sometimes even separated from family. And Daniel found himself in the king's court, King Nebuchadnezzar here in the Babylonian Empire. And we see that Daniel is going to be living in a foreign land, but yet he was always at home. Because see, all of us as followers of God, God has chosen to make his home with us. We are at home when we're with God, and God has made his home in us and with us. And so therefore, no matter where we are, no matter what life throws at us, no matter what circumstances we find ourselves in, we can always be at home. And much like Daniel, we were not made for this world any more than Daniel was made for Babylon. And a lot of times we see Babylon in our modern day, we think of this current world that we find ourselves in, and we want to escape this world, or we want to somehow try to separate ourselves from this world. And the reality is, because God has made his home with us, we actually are not homeless exiles navigating this current planet, this current world that we find ourselves in. Instead, we actually are at home while we're navigating this world. And we see some cool things throughout the book of Daniel. We see the sovereignty of God. We see that God is someone who we can trust, who is in control of our lives, who ultimately gives us victory over everything in this world, all the suffering, all the disasters, all the diseases, all the things that make this world a place that doesn't quite make it home for us. You see, we recognize that this world isn't our home. We see all the destruction, all the things that exist in this world that make us understand that we weren't made for this. Instead, we were made for something else. And what were we made for? We were made for God. But yet God has placed us in this world. God has put us here for a season, for a purpose such as this, to make others realize they too can find their home. And we're going to study each week a section of Daniel together. And we're going to look at how Daniel and his friends and the people of God navigated being exiles and not being at home in the place where they resided, but being completely at home because of who God was, who he is, and how they were with God in those moments and how God was with them. And like Daniel, us too are going to navigate this earth. We're going to navigate this world as exiles because our home truly is with God in his kingdom, but yet his kingdom is now in us and with us through his presence. So how are we made for this? We're made for this because God has designed us and equipped us and trained us and has given us his presence, his strength, his power, his victory, his dominion, his authority. He's given us all the tools that we need. We were made for this moment, made for this world because we were made for him. And because he is in us, we now can navigate the journey that's been set before us to make others and to show others the home they too can also have with God. I cannot wait to go on this journey together with you through the book of Daniel as we learn these lessons from his life.